Hello friends, welcome to AI Flux. So I don't know how many of you watch boxing, but I think this is one of the better examples that I've seen of AI and computer vision combining together to create something that actually adds value to this sport. So personally, I don't watch a lot of boxing, but this is actually one of the most obvious use cases for modern advancements in computer vision and AI. Basically what this is doing is this is watching two boxers fight. It can understand who's on what side, and it's actually scoring in real time. So for those of you who do watch boxing, and according to my friend who watches a ton of boxing, a big problem with this is people have a really hard time believing that all judges are objective, right? And of course, even if you have two judges, that's really only two angles. And generally when you're watching a fight, there are at least 12 different cameras at 12 different angles looking at this. And what's really cool is, as opposed to pausing the fight and making sure everyone can review footage in real time, this AI tool can actually look at all angles of the video coming in real time and provide a real-time score on screen. So if you miss something, obviously stuff happens really, really quickly, then it can happen. And we've actually started to see some of this in F1 racing as well, but it's more of a Amazon AI, AWS kind of a gimmick. It's more just like trying to understand what the racing line is. And I'm really stunned that this actually hasn't been applied in other sports. So the AI behind this is created by a company called Jabbr AI. They're actually a Dutch company founded by 3 Dutch nationals. And the footage you're seeing here is generally Russian boxing footage. And the reason that is boxing footage is some of the most highly copyrighted footage in existence. So most of what they've trained on is something that they can actually show on YouTube and legally possess for training data. And the reason they say you should use their DeepStrike model, and if you Google DeepStrike, you'll realize that that's the name of about 12 different defense projects. They say here it's easy to use, it works on any input video, professional, amateur, or sparring, even on a smartphone, and even handheld video works. They say it's great for content generation. You can actually set up multiple cameras and then actually have this cut fight scenes if you want, which I think is kind of cool. And I do know that some of that actually is used in F1. And they're also selling this as a personalized analytics tool. So if you like fighting, you could set this up and it can give you a lot of great feedback. Personally, I think that fighting sports and getting kicked in the head are generally not a good thing. For entertainment, it's whatever. Football is the same way. Yeah, I think most of the value of this will be driven by pay-per-view, people watching boxing, and just the boxing entertainment industry generally. They have some suggested pricing and we're waiting on a beta pass. What I don't know is if this would be used to overlay on a boxing stream to actually add value on top. And I guess the assumption there is that since you're watching it, you have the rights to actually augment the content. It's a really weird kind of gray area in live streaming, and I used to work at a live streaming company, so I can tell you it's hard to say. So they appear to have 3 tiers. I assume one of these would be the ability to record and keep stats. I think as a fitness tool, this doesn't really have a lot of value because most people doing this are going to a boxing gym and have a boxing coach. Anyway, maybe as an upsell for a boxing coach, it would make sense. I still think that generally speaking, the entertainment angle is most of this. So they say here that Jabbr is a tech startup on a mission to build the future of combat sports. Through 2 years of intensive R&D efforts, we've built the world's first computer vision AI specifically designed for combat sports, which again they call DeepStrike. With DeepStrike, we're going to make automatic content generation, which I, again, think is the key value driver here, stats, analytics, and professional level streaming, again, a value add, available to anyone and everyone. We believe that combat sports needs transparency and fairness. We believe that everyone deserves a chance to show the world how great they can be. Yeah, and then these are the 3 Dutch guys who have started it, Alan, Elias, and Julian. And again, it looks like their biggest potential revenue stream here that they're trying to get done is live stats for telecasters and OTTs. As someone who's working on a startup right now, I would generally argue that their best case here is either licensing with someone like CNN or the UFC, or just selling outright and exiting that way. Because generally speaking, trying to work with augmented content or as an intermediary gets really hard and can actually get you into an unimaginable amount of just problems and with legal things. And what's cool here is they've actually just finished another round of funding. So they were at CVPR 2023, which is one of the most prestigious computer vision conferences in the world, at least for their region. And what's also interesting is they're doing this on a pretty lean budget. A $750K round, especially if that's a Series A, that's really small. That's actually not very big. I think the key here again is in entertainment. One of their investors said, AI will define a generation of new tech companies, and the winners will be those with original data sets who can translate their accuracy into a product people want to use. Now, one thing that's curious is what they actually use to train this on. If they train this on stream rips, it would be a very easy way for, say, someone like the UFC to come in and say that they actually own a lot of their proprietary IP, so another interesting thing to watch. David continues to say, and Jabbr is well on its way to do exactly that for martial art. We're excited to join forces with PSV in the investment of Jabbr because we have a long tradition of investing together and because it means founders benefit from two very large pools of experience at the same time. So, okay, so they were a follow-on investor. What's really funny with all these is they pretty much are just creating euphemisms to talk about boxing as not kind of a archaic sport. I think it's fun to watch, but I generally think, you shouldn't go out and punch your friends in the head. They say the mission of bringing fairness and equity into the world of combat sports by utilizing the state-of-the-art computer vision algorithms really resonated with us, and seeing boxers all over the world express excitement for DeepStrike is a clear sign that the combat industry is ready for technology such as Jabbr's. So I think this is cool. I think the entertainment value add is very, very clear and apparent. What I will say is I think the notion this is making fairness better is maybe a little bit irrelevant because, if you do something unfair in boxing and you knock someone out or you give someone a TBI, like, there's no real undoing that. And to say that you should just deduct a score for that, I think is something that, as a society, we're kind of getting past, right? I mean, we're a YouTube channel that talks about very heady things. And if I was going out and getting punched in the head for exercise, it would be very hard to do my job. And so if you like boxing, this is going to be sick. I think it's really cool to just see, again, a use for AI computer vision that is just so obvious in terms of application and in terms of driving value. It's awesome. So if you like the UFC, if you're from the UFC, definitely check this out. Give these guys some money to keep working on this. And if you like our video, please like and subscribe. And we'll see you in the next video.